Hello everyone, welcome to this next lecture for application of electrical analogy to plane wall. In the previous lecture we have discussed its application to slabs which are in series, but now we are going to discuss slabs which are in parallel. Now how do we exactly understand that? Let me tell you a very simple example, a very practical example. Say this is a simple wall, but then it is made up of bricks. So bricks are organized something like this, one brick above the other, like this, and the space between the bricks is filled up with cement, concrete, mortar, etc. So now what we see, that this is one material, this is a different material, this is again a different material, this is different material, this is different material. So if let us say this is my outer surface of the wall and this is internal surface of my house, so solar radiation will fall on this. Now in this case series application will not be there because this space also will be filled up with some different material. So that's why we need to study slabs in parallel, because any wall can be made up of multiple materials which are not arranged in series but which are arranged in parallel. So let us try to mathematically express this physical aspect. So we will consider the most basic example. So we will consider a plane wall in which the materials are organized such that they are parallel to each other. So I call this material as material A. I call this other. I will enhance this diagram. I think it is very small. So let us expand the diagram. So let us say this is one material and this is second material. So I will call this material as material A and I will call this as material B. Both materials are different, that's why their thermal conductivity will also be different. Let us say Ka is thermal conductivity of material A and Kb is thermal conductivity of material B. But remember one thing, the thickness of this wall or thickness of both the materials will remain same and it will be L only. That's why the thickness of material A will be equal to thickness of material B. So now also this entire surface will be at same temperature whether it is for material A or material B, because we are considering steady heat transfer. So when steady state is achieved, entire surface will be at same temperature, so we can mark the temperature simply as T1, and the second surface uniformly it will be at temperature T2, the entire surface. Now because these are two different materials, in this case area of each material will be different. If we draw the wall conceptually, then we will observe that the total wall area, which was previously this total wall area, now it has been divided into area of material B and area of material A. And because of this change in area, the heat transfer rate will also change, even if the delta T, change in temperature, difference in temperature is same for the same thickness. So that's why whatever is the heat flow rate into the system, it will get divided between material B and material A. So this will be QA and this will be QB. By energy balance, QA plus QB will be equal to total heat transfer Q. Then, and at the exit again it will be simply Q. So let me repeat what we have just understood. This wall is made up of two different materials now. It is not a single material. One is material A, one is material B. Kb is conductivity of material B, Ka is conductivity of material A. These two different materials, they are in parallel configuration, which means they are sharing the area. In series application, area of all the neighboring materials, one material after the other, all of them were having the same area. They were not sharing the heat. That's why they were having same area, that's why they were not sharing the heat. But in this case area is divided and that's why heat will also be divided. So we can say that some heat will pass from material A, some heat will pass from material B, and their total summation will be Q. Remember, this Q will not go anywhere. The total quantity will not change as per first law of thermodynamics. Okay, now we will build up the electrical circuit for this arrangement. So what do we see? In this case, our first node is T1 and the last node is T2. So I will just simply expand the diagram slightly to improve the understanding. This is the this is the node A. So as we can see, the heat is divided. So this Q is the total amount of heat coming into the system. Now it is divided, and in this case there is conduction resistance, but there are two conduction resistances which are parallel to each other. This will be conduction resistance of wall for material A and conduction resistance of wall for material B. And finally there will be a second node which will be equal to T2. Because of this parallel circuit arrangement, QA will flow through the network of material A and QB will flow through the network of material B. But in the end, it will come out to be total Q only. That's the equivalent, that's the thermal circuit for these two thermal resistances. Now, how to solve this and how to reduce the terms, that we will learn through mathematics. So now let us put, as I said, by energy balance, total amount of heat Q will be equal to heat taken by A and heat which is taken by material B. So we can simply write it as potential difference divided by thermal resistance from electrical analogy principle. So QA is potential difference T1 minus T2 upon L upon Ka. But this entire L upon Ka is for material A. It means thickness of material A, conductivity of material A, and area of material A. All of these three quantities for material A only. Just like that, for QB we can write, since temperature difference is same for both the heat transfers and for both the surfaces of this wall, so that's why the delta T will remain same. So this will be T1 minus T2 divided by, because it is conduction, that's why conduction for plain wall, so that's why this will be L by Ka, and for material B, thickness of material B, conductivity of material B, area for material B. This is the meaning of this suffix. So now let us separate this. T1 minus T2 can be taken out as a common parameter, so that gives you T1 minus T2. This will be Q. Into the bracket we can write 1 upon, this is nothing but conduction resistance R for wall A, so this will be R wall A, plus this is nothing but conduction resistance for material B, thermal resistance for material B, my mistake. So that gives you, so this total quantity tells us that, actually this physically tells us that these two resistances, they are in parallel to each other. So now we can write this equal to T1 minus T2 upon 1 upon R equivalent, wherein सर ये गलत हो गया यहाँ पे, इसको हाँ एडिट करना बाकी रहेगा इसको, ठीक है, देख लोगे उसको फटाफट, क्रॉप करना पड़ेगा उसको, क्रॉप ही करना पड़ेगा, क्रॉप करने के बाद में पॉज कर दो उसको. So this is nothing but the equivalent thermal resistance, so this is equal to T1 minus T2 upon R equivalent. This will be total amount of heat transfer. Now how do we write this R equivalent? Because these resistances, they are in parallel to each other, so when you want R equivalent, you calculate it like this. R equivalent is equal to 1 upon RWA plus 1 upon RWB. Why we are writing it like this? Remember, in case of slabs in series, the total thermal resistance was simply addition of all the resistances in the path of heat transfer. In this case, the total thermal resistance that we want or equivalent thermal resistance that we want is not that simple. It is the inverse of individual resistances and finally their summation. That's the difference between series configuration and the parallel configuration. I hope this is useful for you. Thank you very much.